What sacrifices do you make in your personal life to be so completely devoted and committed to your profession?
I made it to all the kids' events, unless I was in a long trial in another way away from this area. We made it to the events. I would coach their teams. I would go to all of the PTA meetings. I would go to the teacher meetings. I would be there for the award ceremony. Nancy and I were always together going. I was never one of these fathers that went, PTA meetings are not for me because I got this to do or that. No, we did those things together for and with the kids. We always took great trips, a great ski trip during the ski season and a great summer trip. And I mean, those trips are the experiences of a lifetime. So
and you raised 4 boys, 2 of which are lawyers and work with you, correct?
Yes, Eric and Todd are lawyers who work right here with us in the firm, and Chad, our number 3 in age, is an insurance agent, and our youngest son, Ryan, is a doctor.
Wow.
Yeah,
you're a proud papa.
No, we're very proud of them and their wives and the grandkids, and we have a lot of fun. And but I sometimes will run into lawyers who say, well, I can't do this work and I can't do that work and everything because I want to be with my kids at their events. And the next thing I know, they're not with their kids. They're all day. Saturday is on the golf course with their buddies, and Sundays they're off fishing or hunting, and they're not with their kids. And I see that all the time, and I go, come on.
Yeah. What was the, because you said your dad was a self-made man, and
Yes.
he expected a lot from you. So there was, there was a lot of that, but you were also driven. So to what extent did he push you to achieve more?
The interesting thing about it is and especially in the time that I've reflected, I lost my dad 2 years ago. And I've reflected about him a lot in the last few years. And, it was in those moments that I think, I'm being a teenager. I'm doing something that he doesn't approve of, or, and he's a very tall, big man with a deep voice. So he already was very commanding, and if he was mad, he was a little scary. And so, anytime I would do something, which wasn't often, I was a pretty good kid, but he would fuss and all of this. But the thing about it would be that I'm already disappointed in myself. So I didn't need the extra pile on, but that extra pile on was sort of very instructive in so many things, because he represented to me, it was almost like if I can't be proud of you, then nobody can.
Mm-hmm.
And so with him, and sometimes with his expectations being as stern as they were, it was almost like, I don't care what anybody else thinks as long as I have his acceptance and approval.
What would your dad say about you today, knowing the career that you've had and the life experience you've lived? What would your dad think?
My dad got to see some of it. I got to try 3 cases with my dad, and he was so proud of me, and he was the best PR guy anybody ever had. He'd go around telling people, I've been practicing for 40 years and my son's already better than I ever was. He was a great dad, and he would tease me and tell me how slow and thick-headed I was and everything. But he had a very good way of getting you to pay attention, and I think I've got a little bit of what is it that we call it when you can't pay attention so well?
Well, Susan, it's always an honor and a privilege to speak with you. Honestly, I don't think you realize how much, at least from where I sit, how much strength you convey.
It's a kind of embarrassing.
Well, with your life story. No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
I don't know. It's like one of those things. This is something my father told me I never remember. Like when people say nice things to you about you should just accept it and not argue with them. like why would you do that? I don't know.
Well, just accept it instead of dread it one day at a time. Accept it one day at a time. There should be a sign that hangs in your bedroom.
Thank you.
Well, thank you so much for your time and for being on this podcast. And I look forward to having and continuing these conversations in the future.